Hello, welcome back. In this video, we will introduce callable statement. In the preceding videos, we introduced prepare statement and statement. And now we're going to have the callable statement. So the prepare statement allows us to use parameters in the SQL statements. And this callable statement will allow us to call a SQL stored procedures. The procedures may have in-out or in-out parameters. An in parameter receives a value passed to the procedure when it is called. An out parameter returns a value after the procedure is completed, but it does not contain any value when the procedure is called. An in-out parameter contains a value passed to the procedure when it's called and returns a value after it's completed. So for example, here is the procedure. It's a sample procedure with this in parameter P1, and this is out parameter, and this P3 is in-out parameter. So this is just do something here. So you have this three parameters. A callable statement object can be created using the prepare call method in the connection interface. For example, the foreign code here, we have this connection and that prepare call. So you have this is here call sample procedure and with the parameters, there's three parameters. So this is call sample procedure is referred to as a SQL escape syntax, and which signals the driver that the code within it should be handled differently. So this is the syntax here. We have this Francis, it's right here, the breast is right here. So in this example, this one here, sample procedure is an Oracle procedure. The call is translated to string begin and here end, and passed to an Oracle database for execution. You can call procedure as well as functions. The syntax to create a SQL callable statement for a function is this. So this is the function, is returns a value here. Now here's the term for the database procedure and function. Procedure does not return a value, and function returns a value. Callable statement inherits prepared statement. Additionally, the callable statement interface provides methods for registering the out parameters and for getting values from the out parameters. Before calling a SQL procedure, you need to use appropriate setup methods to pass values to in and in-out parameters, and use register out parameter to register out and in-out parameters. So here's the example. So we have this callable statement, and we have this. So here's the callable statement here. We have created a callable statement here. We're going to set this in set $1 and set long. Okay, and this one here is this is the for this P3. So P1, P2, P3. So this is the three right here. Its value is in out. So we're going to set it. Now we have to register the out, including in out. So this is 2 is out. So what's the type? It's going to be a double. And what is the P3 is going to be this integer. So the type you have to register. So it knows when you invoke it, a callable statement dot get double. 2. So this is going to be a double, and a callable statement get int because this is the int. So that's the int. So let's define a MySQL function that returns the number of records in the table that matches the specified first name and last name. So there's in the student table. So we have this function, drop function, if it exists. Okay, so we're going to drop this function, student font, if it exists. If it's not, it doesn't do anything. All right, so here we have this, and the syntax here, delimiter. So this is the delimiter. And so here, it's end of it. So this is the one. So this syntax is required. Please note that there is a space between delimiter and this. So this is very strange. You have just to follow this tiny detail in the syntax. So the delimiter here, between the delimiter, now you have this function, create function student font. And here the first, okay, for the first name, and this last for the last name, it's a variable length of character 2020 and returns int. All right, so now you have this two, these are the in, and this is out. And the begin, so declare, and there's result is int, and you do a select into result. So this is the select everything to count this number of the students and in the student table, first name and last name here. So here from student, and this is the first name and the last name matches, and see how many of them in this group. So I'm going to return the result. So if you use an Oracle database, the function can be defined as follows. This is an Oracle you define just the different syntax, and for this functions, this is in Oracle. So here, select into number of selected rows from student, and the student first name is first and student last name is last. So this is going to be returned, and this number is this number of rows. The data type is a number. Suppose the function student font is already created in the database. So here's the code. We're going to use this student font is already created in the database, whether in the MySQL or the Oracle, you already have it. Let's use the MySQL here, writing this code here. So load the driver, connect to the database through the using the connection, and now create a callable statement. Here's prepare call. So we're going to prepare this call here. It's going to return the value called the student font. You can return this value here. So there's 3 parameters there. So please note that the order, the first one becomes the first, and this is the second, this third. So the second one is first name, this third is the last name. All right, so let's see, I'm going to prompt the user to enter the first name and last name. And now, so we're going to have this callable statement. We're going to have this set the first name and set the last name. We're going to register the out parameter. So this is the one for the integer. So execute it. So now execute it. So here is 2 sample runs. All right, that is all for this video on JDBC callable statement. Thank you for watching it. See you. Goodbye.